All right, guys, we are officially speaking in this episode. I know that a lot of viewers out there were really worried that they weren't going to hear my beautiful voice in this video, but fear not. There is going to be plenty of talking here in just a second, but before we get on into those rants, I wanted to kind of stop and fill you guys in on what's going on here. Now, obviously, you just saw me hanging a bunch of stuff in this hallway, which means that we have officially started the Maldway, and we will be doing some more work to it here in just a second, but there's kind of a break and something else that needs to happen. So while we are here, I just wanted to let you guys know that we have officially started on this thing, and I'm very excited. And I know that we technically started the Maldway way back when in one of the first episodes of Weekly Wednesday update videos that we shot out here at the church, because we put this display cabinet up, but we haven't really touched anything since then. I think the only other thing we've done in this hallway is hang this sign right here, and that was a couple episodes ago, and that didn't even get that much attention because it's literally just us hanging a sign right there. But we've got a bunch of the other stuff up, a bunch of the other stuff that is pretty much setting the tone for this hallway. I think that you guys are kind of getting the idea now. This is all going to be music-related stuff, but from bands that aren't necessarily theatrics. So we've got some Crypta stuff down there. We've got a Knocked Loose drum head. We've got some stuff from Alan and the Black Dahlia Murder. And then we've got my boys in Mald over here and another band called Planet Disorder that you guys have never heard of, because they were a band that my dad was like kind of a roadie for back in the 90s. I'm still close with Shipley, who played that bass right there, but that's another story. We will get on into that later. I just wanted to let you guys know that yes, we have officially started the Maldway. Surprisingly, I've seen a lot of questions about the hallway and when we were going to start, and here it is. And like I said, we are not done in this episode yet. This will pretty much be the Maldway episode, or at least a good start on it. And the reason that it took me so long, there is a reason, and it's because I didn't want to knock this stuff off of the walls. A lot of this stuff is obviously pretty fragile and pretty sentimental, and I didn't want to take a chance of breaking any of it while we were moving bigger items into the sanctuary there, but I feel like we are finally at a point where that's not really going to be an issue. I think that we have most of the bigger items in the sanctuary. Anything else that has to come through this side, we can probably pretty easily maneuver gently through this hallway and not worry about breaking any of this stuff. So it was just time. I was ready for it. The hallway was always getting on my nerves walking through here. It really was just a dead spot. It was like everything out here was so cool, and then you walk through this boring, plain, drab hallway, and then you got to work through this annoying, weird workroom that's kind of like a catch-all for all of the projects now, just to get to another cool area. And I do believe that we are going to be cleaning this place out soon. It will become a catch-all for everything that is in Dino's, and then we will officially start on Dino's once we can empty all of these totes out. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the next few episodes. It just took a little while to get there because of the surrounding circumstances. But yes, the Maldway has started. It is not finished. We will come back to this in just a second. But first, we've got to do something that you'll see in the next clip. So on to the next clip. God, I am good at transitions. All right, guys, frames galore, and for good reason. Now, you probably noticed that there is a lot of blank space on those walls in that hallway, but not for long. I don't know what has happened to me over the last couple of years, but I used to be so good about printing things off after events or trips or what have you and getting them framed and hung immediately. But then PaleFest 2023 happened, and it seemed like we just did not slow down, and the printing and framing fell to the wayside. And that's a real shame, because I have done a lot of cool stuff since then, and I obviously want to showcase those moments, especially when they have something to do with something with Crypta or something with Mald or something with Black Dahlia. So I've decided to turn that around, and I went and got a nice big bundle of prints. We have quite a lot of things to frame. So while we frame those to get those ready to hang in the hallway, I am going to be going over a few subjects that I have in the notes on my phone that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And that's going to range everything from like Weekly Wednesday update, normal conversation, to talking about the future of Mailbox Monday, to talking about the future of content on this channel and how you guys see it. So let's go. I have already talked about the not framing things, which again, I don't know why I fell off so hard on that. I absolutely love printing and framing. I love for the House of Masks to look like Mr. Krabs' basement.
Mr. Krabs sure has a lot of expensive treasures to drip paint on.
And I just got so busy that it seemed like I just couldn't catch up. And now here we are doing weekly Wednesday updates. And I think that that gives me a pretty good excuse to start printing and framing again. So I am actually very excited to go through photos and start doing a regular routine of like once a week doing some prints, getting them framed, getting them hung up. So we've touched on that. We also have in this stack, I talked to you guys earlier about Planet Disorder, which now I can't find. There it is. We have some old school Planet Disorder items that are also going to be going in frame. So that will be with that bass that I pointed out. I said my dad roadied for this band, and this is the band. Now this is Low Life Revolution, but that is what Planet Disorder became. They were also sporadic still. And me and my dad dug through the archives and found some history here that I can kind of frame and hang around those two guitars. So that will be cool. We will come back to that later once those are up, and I will talk to you guys a little bit more in depth. Now I want to talk about Dinos, because this kind of fits into the weekly Wednesday update stuff. We just are going to be talking about it instead of doing it in this episode, but it'll give you guys something to look forward to, because I stopped by his house earlier to grab some of these Planet Disorder things, and we also kind of talked about what we wanted to do as far as Dinos goes. So I walked you guys through the little office space earlier that is like outside of the sanctuary. I do plan on here and there just kind of cleaning that out. There's a lot of stuff that I just don't think that we're going to be using anytime soon that's just kind of gotten stuck in there, just different pieces of wood, and I'm not exactly going to throw those away. I am going to keep them, but we are going to be moving them at least out of that office. That way we can move some of the stuff out of Dino's and get it put in that room just to kind of take it out so that we can get to painting and everything else that would start on Dino's. So I think Dino's will officially start very, very soon, and I am very excited for that, and I think that you guys probably are as well. That is definitely one of the coolest projects that we've ever done here on the channel, and I think that doing another one that is bigger and better is going to be super rad. So there is something for you guys to look forward to in the future. Hopefully the next weekly Wednesday update or the one after that, we will have gotten started on that. I don't know. Can't promise anything, but I hope that that is the case. Sorry, I got a phone call, and then I also decided that I hated that angle because you couldn't really see what I was doing. But as I was saying, Mailbox Monday. I've had a lot of people asking if we are still doing Mailbox Monday and where Mailbox Monday has been and why haven't we been doing Mailbox Monday and can they send something in for Mailbox Monday? And the answer is yes. Yes, we are still doing it. Yes, you can send stuff in. And the reason that we haven't been doing it is because people aren't sending stuff in. The only way that that series works is if people send things in, because that is what the series is. I am literally opening mail from you guys. And I'm honestly a little surprised that we haven't gotten a better Mailbox Monday influx of items coming into the P.O. box because of the church. I think that that's kind of strange. I figured that people would be all crazy about wanting to send me housewarming gifts and whatnot, but that has not been the case. And not to say that like I'm entitled to that or for that, but it just seems like that would be the point, that people would want to send stuff in more than usual. But it seemed like 6 months ago, we were doing more Mailbox Mondays than we have done since we've been in the church. In fact, I think that we've only done one Mailbox Monday out here at the church, and it was a pretty forced episode. Like, there were not a lot of items to open, and it just was what it was. But I felt bad because people had sent stuff in, and those people weren't getting to see their items opened for who knows how long, just because I wanted to wait to have 2 or 3 more boxes to open, and that didn't seem fair. So yes, Mailbox Monday is definitely still a go. Always has been, always will be. I can't believe that we've gotten to do as many episodes as we have. I think that we've been doing that series since 2016 or something. So almost 10 years. That is insane. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again, the only way that series works is if you guys send stuff in. So, if you guys want to see more Mailbox Mondays, send stuff in. Here's some good examples, because it doesn't have to be Slipknot related or mask related or whatever. I collect tons and tons and tons of other things, and that seems to be where the Mailbox Monday shines, is through those other little sub-collections. So, tech deck and skateboard related stuff, Dave Mara and BMX related stuff, Goosebumps, horror, Jeff Gordon, that's been my new obsession, and I'll talk to you guys about that here in just a second. Stone Cold, Kane, Attitude Era WWF stuff. What else? I know that there's other stuff that I'm not remembering right now. Gravedigger and Bigfoot. I love those two monster trucks in particular, and even like this new church thing. If you guys haven't seen the little church episode where I showed you guys my little church collection, that's kind of cool too. So yeah, dude, I love that you guys want to send stuff in, and I love that you guys want to see those episodes, but those episodes only come if you guys do send stuff in. So yeah, do that with you, where, how you will, what you
that you had you could you do you want you could do so you want
do with that what you will. I would love to see what you guys have to send in, and I'm definitely looking forward to that, and always looking forward to the Mailbox Monday episodes, because it's so killer what you guys choose to send in, like what you guys are reminded of from me or whatever. I've gone off on something completely different here, and I can't make words work good. But long answer short, yes, would love to keep doing Mailbox Mondays, but they're only going to happen if you guys send stuff in. So there's that. And the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which we've actually gone through this a lot quicker than I thought we would, so I might have to just do like a framing time lapse here in just a second, because we only have one more topic, and that topic is channel memberships and Patreon. And I know you're groaning, you're like, oh my god, shut up about this, but dude, I'm gonna be honest, it is a very dry period for most content creators, especially me. This is slow season, and I obviously just went through a pretty big financial thing with acquiring this church. So for better or worse, which yes, I am very happy to be here at the church. I feel very lucky to have attained this place. But the only way that the church is going to work and that the channel is going to work is if we are making money. And you guys know as well as I do, maybe not as well as I do, but you guys know that YouTube does not like to give its creators what they are worth. I really just do not get rewarded anymore for the content that I make, and that is just what it is. I mean, I love making YouTube videos. I'm never going to stop, but at the rate that we do it here and the amount of content that you guys are getting out of me, I would really, really very much appreciate it if you guys started signing up for Patreon or became a channel member. So I have decided that from here on out, I am going to dedicate a lot more time, energy, and effort into creating exclusive content for patrons and for channel members. And they will be the same exact thing. Everybody's going to get the same thing. So whether you choose to sign up on Patreon or you choose to become a channel member, it's all going to be the same thing. You guys will get the same exclusive videos. Patrons will get early access to all of my content, which is not something that I can offer to channel members for some reason. Sorry, guys. So I would recommend Patreon, but channel membership is cool too. Totally up to you guys, which I guess you guys get perks that patrons don't necessarily get, like more for like the live stream side of things with the emotes and being able to moderate the chats and whatnot. So yeah, dude, I would just really appreciate if you guys went and signed up. It would help greatly. It's only $5 a month, and there are all kinds of incredible rewards over there, and I just think that that's a hella super stupid good deal. So go sign up for Patreon or become a channel member. Thank you very much. And now, since we have hardly gotten anything framed while I was blabbering away, I guess we are just going to do a quick framing time lapse, and then we will get the stuff over into the hallway and get it hung up and then show off the finished, for now, product. All right, time lapse. that Borther? All right, so there's a couple little random ones that I didn't get to because I totally forgot that I even ordered this size. And then for like this one, there's another picture that I'm missing, and that has to go in an even bigger frame. And then obviously the other 8x10 was broken, so we will have to come back to these at some point in the future. But I got most of the other stuff framed and ready to go, so I guess we can go to the hallway now. Tee. Okay, this is new, this is new, all this is new, this is new, these are new, and this one down here is new. So, I do believe that that concludes this weekly Wednesday update episode. I know that this wasn't the biggest, craziest, most action-packed weekly Wednesday update video that you've ever seen, not by a long shot, but I do think that little episodes like this are still important for two reasons. One is that this is a project that I have wanted to get started for quite some time, and I just kind of had to play a little bit of a waiting game until it was time for me to start on this project. And now that the project is started and unfinished, I do believe that that will incentivize me a little bit to get in here and get this one done so that we can move on to the bigger, cooler, more exciting things. And the second reason that I think that this episode was necessary is because last week on Wednesday, I did not release a weekly Wednesday update video, and a lot more people than I imagined were kind of bummed. Everybody was like, where's my weekly Wednesday update video? And I guess I didn't realize how important this series had become to the channel, and I never really saw this as a weekly Wednesday update series as far as doing it on a weekly basis. I just tried to do them when I could, and I think that we all got a little spoiled with moving into the church because episodes were coming out left and right, and there were quite a few weeks where we were doing them every Wednesday in a row, and that's never really been what the series was. It definitely wasn't a weekly thing. It just, the name had a nice ring to it, but you guys wanted it, and I love filming these and getting projects started and finished and documenting them. So here is this week's weekly Wednesday update video, and despite how boring it might seem, I hope that you guys have enjoyed it nonetheless, because small projects are still projects, and just because they are boring or smaller doesn't mean that they are any less important. Now, with that being said, as I mentioned earlier, hopefully the next episode, not next week's episode, just in case I don't upload one, but the next episode of Weekly Wednesday Update videos will include at least the start of the new dinos, and I think that that will be pretty cool. So I'm going to end this episode, and before I do that, I want to leave you guys with what I was talking about earlier with the whole Jeff Gordon thing, because over the last few weeks, I have absolutely lost my mind, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So let me flip the camera around and show you guys what has started to consume my weekends, and now it's literally consuming a large portion of the new House of Masks. So yes, for better or worse, check this out. I have gone absolutely bananas with the Jeff Gordon hunting. I am definitely addicted and hyper fixated on Jeff Gordoning now. So every weekend I end up going to antique shops and thrift shops and maybe even some Facebook Marketplace finds, and I end up getting all the Jeff Gordons that I can. So I'll show you guys. It actually started over here with my original collection. I got out my original Jeff Gordon collection, and then I started going antiquing and picking up random pieces like this hauler and this, just when I would see them at antique shops. and then it quickly overtook my life to the point where I don't even have a place for these. So it was those guys over there. Then I spent a weekend thrifting and antiquing and found this little section and these fucking superstars, which is sick. Then I went into my grandpa's basement and I found all of my stuff from when I was a little kid. So I brought that out. And then my buddy Denny was like, dude, I collect and I don't even care about Jeff Gordon. So he gave me this stuff. And then it just snowballed into a crazy, unimaginable NASCAR Jeff Gordon land. I mean, there is so much crap here and I love it all. So if you guys have some Jeff Gordon shit, you should definitely send it in to me because I am in the market and I will definitely give it a good home. I gotta get some shelves up because there's more here than you can even tell, and it is just absolutely insane. So yeah, on that note, I'm out of here, dude. Bye forever.